Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day today, or night, or whenever you are watching this. Today we'll be going over the 60 TP, however you pronounce that second part of it. But this tank is definitely it's a beast. That's all I have to say about it. It is a beast. It has a good armor profile. It has a good gun. And overall, if you're looking at any of the derpy heavy tanks at tier 10, like the E100, the VK, I definitely prefer the 60 TP over any of those two and other heavy tanks like that. This is also a comp tank, so if you're trying to do comp, this is definitely a heavy tank that those teams will want you to have a tier 10 comp in tournaments. Anyways, let's go over this tank here. We're going to do a little bit of a brief rundown about the tank, and then we're going to go get into some gameplay, a very exciting gameplay, and we'll see if it's a heartbreak or not. Anyways, this tank does have a legendary camouflage, if you want it. Of course, I don't have it on here. Blah, 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 whatever. Consumables, you have some different choices, especially with the new tungsten rounds, shells, whatever you want to call them. These are very nice and can change the battle quickly. So I prefer and recommend to use the multi-pack on every tank. Doesn't matter what tank you're using. The tungsten and then the adrenaline. The only time to drop the adrenaline and the tungsten should be during the same time, so you can get the maximum rounds that you can with the tungsten shells. Next, you're going to be boosting the crew mastery there with the 10% and the 3% to boost the view range, the DPM, the aim time, dispersion, average speed, and all the terrain and all that. And of course, use the improved fuel. That is my personal opinion. You can use the gear oil and improve the gear oil. Me personally, I'd rather just boost the fuel with the crew mastery. You can also use improved gunpowder. I have tried it, but there really is no point to it if you're going to set up your tank just like this with your equipment. So I run the gun rammer to try to get maximum amount of rounds with the adrenaline and the tungsten rounds. You can run the calibrated, but it does have pretty decent penetration already, so it's pretty good to run the gun rammer. I use the shell velocity and the penetration decrease with distance. The supercharger is super nice. You can use the enhanced gun lane drive, but it seems to work better for me with the supercharger. The next one, it's up to your choice, but I definitely recommend the refined gun. Of course, defense system. I use the enhanced armor. You can use improved assembly, but it seems to work for me better with the enhanced armor. And of course, the toolbox to repair modules faster. Always view range. Engine accelerator. A lot of people do the other one with improved control, but it really only does one increase. I'd rather have an increase to multiple things. And of course, consumable delivery system is what I use for this. Alright, let's go look at the stats of this tank. So you have pretty good armor frontally with 280 and 120 on the hull with its angles, and plus the 4% added to that with the equipment slots, and that also improves everything on here by 4%. Sides, you have pretty good armor for side scraping. Rear, turret's alright. Hull, yeah, of course, most rear of vehicles is going to be bendable. View range is alright for a heavy tank. The DPM, you're looking at 2,591. Not too bad. Reload's pretty good. Penetration and damage is pretty good. The dispersion, I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty alright. Aim time, of course, I would like it to be a little bit faster. Wouldn't everyone on this tank? But it does very well with the shell velocity and the dispersion on there. 7 degrees of gun depression and 20 degrees of gun elevation. The 7 degrees of gun depression, sometimes at times it feels very lacking. Other times it feels very efficient, depending on what map you are playing, but you can always find a way to make it work. Not a bad speed to get around, and power to weight ratio and everything like that. Alright, now that's a little bit of information for you guys, how to set up this tank, what you can do with this tank. I definitely play this tank as a frontline heavy tank. I would definitely recommend doing that. Of course, don't YOLO and be stupid with it. Use ridge lines, use cover, and put the shots in. Don't overrush them, but you can snapshot a few shells. Anyways, alright, here we are on Dead Rail. Not a bad map to be playing on. Not at all. First thing that I look at is what a lineup is. We have 2 platoons, my team and their team. They have an FE, the barn, the grill, and they also have a yak. Those things are pretty deadly if played correctly. And they do have penetration in the cheeks on the turret if they have good enough accuracy to hit across the map. Very dangerous hitters. So I'm taking this position right here to cover up, because I'm going to figure out the yak path that's going to sit here. Interesting spot on the E100. It's a very interesting spot for him to be going. An IS-7 going down there. Pretty typical. It looks like someone hit the ground there. I'm gonna suspect that either it's one of the TDs in behind the E100. Ooh, missed that cheek shot on the E100 there. But it looks like they're gonna punish him for going back there. Alright, we got an AFK 60 TB. Okay, we got that tank right there. We're gonna load the AT, try to hit the turret and load the tungsten, but we only did 200 to them, sadly. And now we're gonna try to get a shot onto the 60 TB since he's kind of AFK with that tungsten shell, dropping a 571 bomb on him. And we used a premium round to make sure we hit. We're gonna go for a blind shot like the E3 did there. Maybe he moved around a little bit. So right now we're up to 1,381 damage. It's 5 versus 6 right now. I'm going to start moving my position because these guys are starting to struggle. I kind of figured that the grill and the yak hens are camping over on this side that I'm looking at. And on the other side, of course, the FB. So they have a crossfire. Whatever. 60 TP is kind of being a little weird. Trying to keep him spotted there. I figure he's going to come up, try to get the E3. So I'm going to try to keep him spotted. Pop up, load around, put it into him. Broke his turret, that's unlucky for him. I'm surprised he didn't try shooting. But then he's probably just trying to get that E3 out of the game. Trying to be careful. TDs, cleaned up to 60 TP, which frees us on a 5 versus 5. Our other 60 TP, I don't know what he's exactly doing. He does kill one tank, but he is also taking a risk of losing a lot of damage. Now we're up to 3,000, putting around into that FV. Now suffering from the TDs shooting him. Now we're in a 3 versus 4. And for all we know, both of those TDs in the back are full HP. We'll gained an advantage here. I'm getting into a position where I can avoid TD fire, try to put pressure on this IS-7. Comes around the corner, put around into his plate, get into cover behind my dead ally here, block 2 shells. No, just 1 shell for now. I load tungsten because I'm sure I'm gonna hit him. No damage dealt. I'm gonna try for a blind shot. HE with the tungsten, just so I can get a little bit of damage on them. I tell Foch not to go, but he still goes anyways. I don't know why he's doing that. And sadly he dies. Alright, we got a grill. Put in a 600 alpha shot there. Then we got an IS-7 who just needs to hold. And now he's pushing over where he's probably going to be shot. But I decided to put some pressure on and move up, use this tank for cover. Put in the shot into the side of the IS-7. I'm up to almost 5,000 damage. Block another shot. Block the grill. Trying to look for a shot on that Yag. Bounce in. Tried to get that shot in. Missed. That shot I probably should have saved, to be honest with you. And now I'm in a 1 versus 3 situation. Grill is shooting HE. I'm trying to get behind the Yag. IS-7 doesn't think he could defend his turret, but at the angle that I just saw him, it looked like he actually could have been pinned in the lower plate. Switch to a premium round to the side of the Yag. And now it's just trying to get out as much damage as possible. Bounce the IS-7. Try to get around him. Kill the IS-7. Bounces the Yag. Thinking I have a chance. I gotta keep the Yag. Now I'm in HE shot pretty much. Now I'm like, well, just try to get much damage as I can. And sadly, Yag Panzer cleans me up, and we finish with a defeat with a sad 7,513 damage. We blocked 5,400 damage, destroyed 2. Yeah. Definitely a high caliber for doing that. 7,000 damage. Nice ace tanker there. And damage dealt, definitely a lot more. And my bonus for carrying my team was 7,000 damage. I get plus 4,600 and 524 experience. That's a pretty lame bonus for when you compare to what my team actually did. Not a bad XP, not a bad amount of credits earned. And well, there's a reason why nothing got done as well. Yag Panzer could have done a lot more. Not sure what happened to him. VK could have done a lot more than that. That right there looks like he only did about 1 shot of damage. 60 TP, did about 2 shots of damage. Maybe 3 or 4. I mean, that's a clip. Maybe Yeah, two full clips. They all could have done a lot more. He shouldn't have pushed, and he shouldn't have been sitting on the ridge like that with TDs that have good penetration and, well, HE that can definitely still take away a significant amount of HP that you could use. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned a little bit about the 60 TP and what it can do. And I hope you guys enjoy this tank. Hopefully you take some tips as a new player and an older player of how to use it and whatnot. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a good day. GG and 07.